Easter Monday
It's Easter Monday right now. We have enough. We're going to the US on the 26th. So Poway is coming up. It's a big contest for us. We fly RC gliders that we throw into the air. Yeah. It's really awesome new product that we're going to debut at this contest. We're a little bit behind. We need to make up about half a dozen before we go there so that a bunch of us will have some models to use. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get 2 of them ready in time for myself. So I'm building a Vibe 2 for myself as a backup in case anything happens to my flare. So it's Easter Monday and it's a rush. Next week and a half is just gonna snap. I've been in the office working for the past few days. I took Good Friday off to spend some time with the family. Hi. A little bit on this plane and trying to get the new AeroPlus website all running, and that's almost done, by the way. We're getting ready for the flare pre-orders. I think I only have about an hour of work left to do on this plane. Oh, look at that. So let's start from the beginning. Essentially, I run an online store. We design, we manufacture, and we import, export model planes, specifically model gliders. So these are all made in molds and carbon fiber and all these high-tech materials. It all started when I was 11 or 12. My parents had a restaurant back in Canada. Every day after school, that's where I would be, at the restaurant. Then this elderly couple, Bill and Norma, they started coming to eat at our restaurant on Saturdays. I guess they must have felt sorry for me because they bought me a model free flight kit. So these are planes that you build out of balsa wood and you cover it in tissue, and there's a rubber band inside. You wind it all up and then you throw it in the air, and basically you hope it comes back. Sometimes they fly away in a thermal, or sometimes they land on a roof and you can't get it. But you know, that's what started me on this journey. For most of my teen years, that was what I was doing. On Saturdays, I would go fly with Bill and Norma. Fast forward to 2010, I was 20 years old. Just finished my 2-year diploma in architectural and building engineering technology. And I started working as an intern in an architectural office. Okay, so I have a little bit more pocket money because I was getting paid. I think it was about $10 an hour. That was a lot for me back then. And then I saved up a little bit of money, and so I saw these online, and I'm like, oh wow, I used to play with these, right? So I get all my building supplies back together, and I get some plans, and I start building these planes again. You know, when I was younger, I couldn't afford an RC stuff, like radio control stuff. Like the cheapest radio control was like $200, $300. I mean, back then that was a lot of money, especially for a kid who had no part-time income. Anyway, so I went online. I saw these guys playing with hand-launched gliders. This was something I actually saw when I was in my early teens. I saw a person flying with one, and I later met him. I just realized it's already 3 o'clock and I forgot to eat lunch again. But you know, I couldn't afford to play with it. Like I was looking at these entry hand-launched glider kits, and The cheapest ones were like $200, I think, $300. And then I was looking around and I saw on their website that they were looking for dealers overseas, and they didn't have a dealer in Canada back then. And so I persuaded my brother to put up some money with me. My younger brother, he's 5 years younger than me, and so he's about 15 back then. We put up 2,000 US, and we talked to them. They said we needed a website, so we built a little website to sell models. And so we ordered our first batch of models, and that was how I started. I never even flew with a hand launch glider before my first batch of models arrived from the factory, right? And then that's how it all got started. So in the third year of college, I was working towards my bachelor's. I spent a couple months in the architectural office. The people were great, but it wasn't for me. I decided to stay in third year to make sure that it wasn't for me. I spent a year making sure. But as the year progressed, I got more and more focused on my web store and less focused on my studies, for better or for worse. And so I decided to drop out after third year because I wanted to pursue my company full time. It's only about 7:45, 8 right now. I'm supposed to be working until 11. There's a lot of work to be done. Anya and Alexis were supposed to meet up with my mother-in-law for dinner, but apparently she blew them off, so I'm gonna go and buy some takeout for her.